If there is one thing that you could say about me, it's that I'm weird. If there's two things that you can say about me, it's that I'm weird and I'm a big Star Wars fan. I mean, when I say big Star Wars fan, I've seen all the movies. I own all the movies. I've watched all the movies many, many times. I used to read all the books back forever ago until honestly, I have to say when I stopped reading them was when Disney took over. So that's like, I don't know, 40 books or something based on Star Wars that I've read. I've played most of the games, and I grew up with Star Wars. It pulls me back to my childhood. I just love Star Wars. It's a wonderful universe to be able to sit down and enjoy. So when I heard that Star Wars Pinball was finally coming to the Nintendo Switch, I was very, very excited. Now, you might be wondering, what do you mean finally? Well, this is a game that's actually been on iOS before, and I think I actually played it on iOS, or maybe it was Android. I can't remember. It's been a long time, but I played it on a mobile device in the past, and I actually I had Mel Kirk, who is kind of a higher up muckety muck over at Zen Studios. I had him on the podcast. Was it twice now? It's either once or twice. I can't remember which, but I've talked to Mel, and when he came on the show and we were talking about Pinball FX3, which, by the way, if you don't have it, is fantastic and you should check it out. When he came on and we talked about Pinball FX3, one of the questions that I asked him is, are we going to be getting in the future as DLC the Star Wars tables that you guys had already made for iOS and other platforms? And he said, well, we're currently dealing with licensing issues, so we don't really have an answer for that yet. Basically, the answer turned out to be no, not as DLC, but eventually it came to the Nintendo Switch as its own game. Now, I will say this, the Pinball FX3 is a free game. It comes with, I'm not sure how many boards it comes with because I got a bunch of the boards given to me as review copies. But I think it comes with 2 tables for you to play, and then you can pay to unlock a bunch of the other ones. They have like Jurassic Park and Back to the Future and stuff like that. So for me, it made perfect sense for them to just use do DLC for that to bring Star Wars over, but they chose not to do that, and I think it's because they have like campaign modes and stuff like that. Anyway, I got distracted talking about other things. So Star Wars Pinball is now on Nintendo Switch. As soon as I noticed that, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to reach out to the people that I know at Zen Studios, and I said, can you please send me a review copy? And sure enough, they did, because they're awesome. However, this is not an ad. I just want to say that. It's not an ad. I did receive it as a review copy, full transparency. So let's talk about Star Wars Pinball on the Nintendo Switch. It has 19 tables celebrating a galaxy far, far away. It has movie adaptations for episode 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, as well as Rogue One solo. Oh, I didn't realize there was a solo one in it. I've got more playing to do. I've only played it probably around a half an hour or so far. It also has TV adaptations for the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. It's got characters like Han Solo, Darth Vader, Lando Calrissian, and Boba Fett. Now, I will say this, the characters that are included are not voiced by the original actors. This is something that is probably a legal restriction that I don't understand. But I personally, if I were in charge, I would just say, well, let's, we're licensing your content, Disney. Please give us audio files directly from the movie, and we'll put it into our game so that when Han Solo says, never tell me the odds, it actually sounds like Han Solo. Because in this, it very much does not sound like Han Solo. And I'm not saying that I could have done any better, but I think that it would just be a million times more authentic feeling if they had clips from the original movie. Now, perhaps that has something to do with like lawyers and fees that go to the actors, and you can't use the lines from the movie in other stuff without paying the actors. I really don't know. I do know that like in toys, not the movie. Oh, well, yes, the toys. I know that like if you go and you buy a Woody action figure and you pull the string on his back, from Toy Story, that's Tom Hanks' brother imitating his brother saying, "There's a snake in my boot," that kind of thing. It's not actually Tom Hanks. So that's what my guess is that they're just trying to avoid paying very, very high costs to the actors themselves. Now, what else comes in this game? They've got these cool Jedi versus Sith theme going on. In fact, when you first load up the game, you have to choose if you're going to be light side or dark side. I chose light side because, good guys are the best. This is another thing that makes me think maybe this is why it can't be DLC. Another reason that makes me think that might not be able to have DLC is because it has a career mode, which is designed, according to the website, is designed with short on-the-go gameplay sessions in mind. So basically, it takes you on through all 19 tables in a specific order, and they give you, okay, you're going to be on this table for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter how many balls you lose. You're just on for 5 minutes, try and get the highest score you can. Or you have X number of flips, where you push the button and the pinball paddles move. You only have so many of those. That's your limited resource before it's game over, and you just want to try and get the highest score that you possibly can. I think that's really cool. Would that have been able to be added as DLC in Pinball FX3? Maybe not, and maybe that's why they had to make it its own game. Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch exclusive features and modes. So first off, in addition to HD Rumble and vertical play, so you can turn the Switch sideways and play it that way, although I don't like playing like that. It just doesn't feel comfortable to me. Star Wars Pinball boasts several new features and modes exclusive to Nintendo Switch as a standalone product. Galactic Struggle. Every Star Wars Pinball player in the galaxy will choose to support the light side or dark side in a perpetual online digital tug-of-war between the forces of good and evil. Which path will you choose? Guys, you cannot go Sith. You've got to go Jedi and help us win. So that's me saying that, not them. And then they talked about the career mode as well. You can also choose the path of the Jedi or Sith as you progress through 50 career ranks. They do have missions that involve Star Wars themed mini games. Like there was this one moment where I was flying X-Wings, for crying out loud, and it almost felt like Galaga, where you are a ship on the bottom and you're shooting up and the TIE fighters are flying across at you. I didn't like this mode, and the reason that I didn't like this mode was because of the controls that they had decided to go with. And I know it's a pinball game, and they're trying to lean into that pinball gameness. But when I was playing it, I was very, very frustrated by the fact that in order to move your ship left and right, you had to use the triggers on your Switch and then shoot with like the A button. I would have very much preferred to move left and right with the joystick and shoot with a trigger or something like that. That's not a big deal though, because that's not the reason that you buy this game. You buy this game to play pinball, and with 19 tables, it's really, really fun. Now I want to talk about the price, because Pinball FX3 is free, and then you pay for the tables that you want to play. This comes with 19 tables, and 19 tables comes at a price, a very expensive price, of $30. So, well, is it really that expensive? I'm not sure. So if we want to do the math and figure out how many tables per dollar are you getting, then you're getting basically half a table for every dollar that you spend. So each table basically is costing you $2. Now, what I think would have been better is if they just give the game away for free with like 3 or maybe even just 2 tables and then make me buy other tables if I want to have more. And I think that that would be better, because making me pay for everything up front is going to scare some people away. Whereas playing it for free is going to get a lot more people to try it out. And then they would probably end up ponying up the dough to get the more all those tables that they feel like they might be missing out on. And you could even do like deals where, hey, this week this table is free to play, and at the end of the weekend or something, you can't play that one anymore unless, of course, you buy it, and here's the price. I think that they would have done better that way. I don't know the deal. Maybe this is a Disney thing, or maybe the people in charge, maybe the suits in charge said, you're not allowed to do that because this license is way too expensive. Like, I'm sure that Zen Studios had to pay a pretty penny in order to bring this stuff out on the Nintendo Switch. But I think it's really fun. I don't know if $30 is worth it to you, and that's a question that you have to ask yourself. And the best way that I can think to answer that question yourself is to go download Pinball FX3. And if you think it's really good, and trust me, you're going to think it's really good, then maybe you can make that decision about that $30. I don't like to tell people if this is worth $30 or this is not worth $30. And the reason why I don't like to make that distinction is because $30 is different to every person. What one person would say, oh, $30, I can spend that. That's no big deal. And then somebody else might say, $30, I got to eat, man. So, that's why I don't like to say whether or not it's worth it or not. For me, I would probably pay $30 for this because, like I said, it's $2 per table roughly. And for 19 tables, you're getting a lot of gameplay. It's super, super fun. And I really, really like all the charm that they threw into it. It even has, and this is something I forgot to mention, it has a Cantina jukebox, and they say collect the greatest tunes in the galaxy as you play each table. Once you've heard a song, you can listen to it anytime you like in the game lobby. So again, there's a lot of cool stuff that's in this, and I know that $30 for a pinball game seems pretty steep, but for Star Wars, I think that people are willing to pay a little more. And I gotta say one more time, like, these tables are wonderfully crafted, and the detail that you see when you are playing these is just so insanely high quality that I feel like Zen Studios deserves the money for this. It's so fun. Anyway, if you didn't know, I've got a podcast called Nintendo Switchcraft, which you can find wherever podcasts are downloaded, or if you want an easy way to find it, just go to runjumpstomp.com and click on shows, and you can see all my podcasts over there. If you like this video, make sure that you click on that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe, and of course, click the bell so you get notifications every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. I don't know, maybe in like the Kessel Run or something, right? Bye-bye.